All right, it's time for IDK, where we learn to do something new. And with Mother's Day coming up this weekend, we're learning how to make a traditional English trifle.
Very fancy. We are joined by Ariana Garella with PCC Community Markets, and we're going to learn how to make our own. And you are such an excellent teacher, so I'm sure it's going to go well. Fingers crossed. Now,
I said in the break, I don't know what a trifle is.
Oh, yeah. So tell us.
Yeah, what is a trifle?
Okay. Let's see. It's a good place to start today. So, first things first, today we're making a little English trifle inspired by a PCC cooking class that we are starting to host, which is our British springtime desserts class.
Okay.
Today we're making a variation of the trifle they'll be making in class, and I made it a little breakfast perfect for our Mother's Day brunches.
That's perfect.
So
That's
a trifle is classically some combination of pieces of cake, usually a sponge cake, some custard, whipped cream, and then some sort of berry or fresh fruit component. Today we are making one with a PCC cream scone. We are doing some roasted rhubarb, which is in season right now and so delicious. Some fresh strawberries. I've also got some macerated strawberries. And then, of course, a little whipped cream. And I actually made a sour cream whipped cream for us today to balance out a little flavor.
I think I'm going to like this because I like all these things.
Yeah.
That's the thing about a trifle that's so perfect, is that you get to put whatever you want in it. So I chose a scone base today because we're thinking brunch, right? And then the people who don't want a little trifle, got a few extra scones on the side. If you have a little cake left over, you can also make it a day in advance. Trifles are best, actually, if you let them hang out for a few hours. So it's like the perfect thing. Do it the night before. Don't think about it the morning of.
So resting in the fridge.
Resting in the fridge. Keep it out for like an hour before you serve it, so it's not super cold when you go, but it's perfect.
Can we get started here?
We might as well.
Let's do it.
So here are our components. We're going to break it down. Those PCC cream scones. We've got some sour cream and whipped cream mixed together here.
Okay.
Just kind of adds a nice acidity to the whipped cream, balances out those flavors. We've got our roasted rhubarb, fresh strawberries, macerated strawberries. So those are just strawberries I chopped up this morning, soaked in some sugar, and you can see all that strawberry sugar juice. Delicious. This is a little extra syrup that I made. It is cooked strawberries. I added a little splash of rosé wine in there.
Ooh, hello.
And then some sugar, just to give it a little extra flavor. So we can add in a drizzle of that if we want to. You guys have some setup over here, similar stuff. We're going to start with a bed of whip because we want the scone to absorb some of the liquid there. So we're going to just throw in a little bit of whipped cream.
Okay.
And you just want a nice little bed.
Yeah, absolutely.
The beauty of doing these for yourself, and you can prepare them in advance for your guests or for your mom, or everyone can make their own, is that you get to do whatever you want, right? You're a big whipped cream fan, just fill it all the way to the top, top it with a few strawberries, skip the trifle element altogether. Otherwise, we build. Okay, next we're gonna put in some of our cream scones. So we're just gonna add in a little spoonful here.
Is a drier sort of bread best, or?
It's a great question. So typically a sponge is a moist cake, but it's a layer cake that's going to absorb the liquid we're adding in. We're actually playing with it a little bit because scones tend to be a little bit more dense, so we're going to give it, that's why we have a little bit of extra liquid around, so we can help those scones absorb.
Excellent.
Now, part of the thing about a trifle is if you take a look, I haven't done a very good job so far. It's not very well balanced. We want to see the layers through the glass bowl. So I'm going to actually take my spoon. We're making these individually, so feel free to also use your hands. And we're just going to tuck it in.
I'm going to use my finger.
Tuck it in.
That's nicer than smash the bread in there.
There we go. Okay.
All right, tucking in those little pieces of cake. That looks so good.
Thank you.
Very
really mastered it from not knowing what a trifle is. Okay, next we layer in some fruit. So if we want some of that roasted rhubarb, great. If we want some of those fresh macerated strawberries, I'm going to do a little combo. And don't be afraid of using a little bit of that liquid that's in there, right? We want some of that moisture, so I'm going to drizzle some of that over the top.
Okay, I'm going to do some of this rhubarb.
Yeah, get on in there.
Yeah.
And remember, rhubarb is super seasonal right now. It actually comes in these huge stalks. It's really tart if you eat it as is, but chop it up, throw some sugar on it when you're at your PCC and buying your rhubarb. We want to make sure you're getting the nice red stalks. They should be firm to the touch. They are just a delightful, kind of rare in the season moment.
So you cook it down? Is that how you get this?
Yeah, so I roasted it. I tossed it with some sugar, and then we cook it down for about 20 minutes in the oven until it's nice and soft. Taste it, make sure it's sweet enough for you.
All right.
Okay, next, we gotta go back to the whipped cream. Top it off.
Oh, sure.
Why not? Add a little dollop, cover it up, Give it a little swirl here, make it look cute. And then I'm gonna top mine with some of these fresh strawberries.
Extra.
Now, even anytime you wanna add in a little bit of this
I'm
guy,
gonna be
any of
doing
the
that,
extra juices, we do
That's
that.
the rosé too. You just
Just a little bit. Lemon juice, a little bit of rosé,
like
and some of
that.
those roasted
Just pour
strawberries.
it on top here?
You can pour it on top. Let it soak on in.
All right. Oh,
Beautiful.
that's
Yeah.
cool.
Beautiful.
Here you go.
Go.
Here you go. Look at that.
Yeah, give it a little
Right there.
drizzle.
Ooh, beautiful.
That nice color.
Here you go.
All right.
Look at
Oh, yours looks really nice,
Right?
Brian.
This is like restaurant
Throw
grade.
on one little, I'm using
Just
my
right there.
Pardon me. Just one little garnish for yourself. Yeah. And there we go. How easy. A perfect little Mother's Day
I love it. This
trifle.
is so easy too.
And you get to use
love
whatever
it.
you have. There's some blueberries on there,
Thank
other
you.
fruits.
Wonderful.
Would you like
Let it
one
hang
too?
out.
Are you gonna have some?
I'm gonna
Why
have a
not?
bite in a minute.
Now, we did get to learn how to do this, but you teach people all the time. So
I do.
talk to me about the
Yes.
classes.
So this
Are we allowed to
trifle-
eat it while you're talking?
Please,
Okay, I'm trying.
please help yourself. So we at PCC run the gamut of cooking classes, everything from basic knife skills to kids camp, which we are offering all throughout the summer. Send your kids to us. We'll watch them and teach them things so they can cook for you.
Oh,
and-
that is, now
we
we're
go.
talking.
And of course, all of the classes that you might want to gift to your mother for Mother's Day, right? So
very
Mother's
exciting.
Day is a nice time to spend with any of the mothering people in your life, whoever they may be. And we like to remember that, like, we like to make them a little breakfast, and we also like to give them a little gift. So sharing time with your mom through a PCC cooking class is a really,
That
really
sounds
sweet
really
way
fun.
to do it.
I've been trying to, I always include my kids with the cooking
Yeah,
and stuff like
so
that, but I have not thought about sending them to a cooking class because that would take it up a notch, I think.
And I will say it's a really unique experience to get to learn something with your kid. Right? When you're in it together, or even sending a kid to a kids camp, and then they come back to you and get to teach you a thing. What a
Ooh, I
unique
like
and
that.
wonderful
Yeah, that's really
experience.
cool.
What's
and
a
it's
good
the gift that
age?
keeps on giving. So our kids camp start around 8, but we also do parent-child classes that have
That's
different age
very
ranges.
fun. And you actually brought another idea here
We
for
did.
us.
So it's good to have a little sweet treat on your Mother's Day table, but it's also nice to have a little savory thing to round it out.
Yes,
Yeah.
of course.
So right now at PCC, we are offering 20% off through Mother's Day for our salmon dips and lox. So we brought you a little salmon dip to try, some capers, some lox, some English slicing cucumbers, and then we've got our own bagels here. So a couple different varieties of sourdough bagels, plain, everything. I think we've got an Asiago cheese.
Yum.
Because it's nice to build your own in many ways. We've got a build your own trifle situation, a build your own bagel. We're all covered. For
Give
the
me this
easiest
and
Mother's
this,
Day.
and I'm good for brunch.
Happy.
Yeah.
Perfect. We're all set then.
Ariana
So-
Gorilla, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for
Thank you
having
coming.
me. Lovely to spread the
We posted a link to PCC's cooking classes on our website. That's fox13seattle.com/Studio13Live. And still to come here on Studio 13 Live, some of